following the 60s when Kwanzaa was developed as a kind of celebration, tradition for African American families because of the idea that we had no real holidays to celebrate. And so it used to be a big thing where everybody dressed up in their African attire and came in, and you can go back and you can read the 7 symbols, but I can't remember every one of them. But tonight is the second night of Kwanzaa, and it's okay, thank you. Which means self-determination. One time I knew all of them. So tonight, and you don't have to join in, but tonight I ask you to bring your favorite legacy story of self-determination. And Monica isn't here, but she said the children could recite Black poetry because they needed to know some, or some quotes or what have you. And so that's why I just asked if you bring a memento, a photograph, or what have you. And so I'm going to start it off. And I'm also going to light the candle, if I can get this to work.
In the spirit of my mama being a lawyer, can we limit our story to 3 minutes? 3 to 4 minutes. Unless it's juicy.
Unless it's what? Juicy. All right. Well, you be the timekeeper. But I got the idea when I was trying to clean out my house, and what I'm going to show you is a diploma dated 1933 from Georgia State University. Georgia State Industrial College. Okay? And Savannah State College was founded as Georgia State Industrial College. And when they built the university here in Atlanta, they took the name because they thought they should be Georgia State. And they renamed the little black college Savannah State. And so this is my dad's diploma. I think there were about 12 people in this class. My dad was Kennedy Cancer Childers, and that's Evan Kennedy. The Kennedy is from my father, and as is Kendria, who is my daughter. My dad grew up on a farm. And when they became, the school that they attended, which was a one-room school, only went to 7th grade. And so he finished he only went to 6th grade. So he went to 6th grade, and he had to stop school, and he worked on the farm until he became 21. And when he was 21, he had a brother who was 22. And my grandfather said he would give them a suit of clothes, which is a big thing then to get your own suit, or $25 cash. My uncle took the $25 cash so he could get married. And he was married to the same woman for 67 years. He died at the ripe old age of 92, 93, and they had 11 children. And so that was his path. My dad had heard about a school in Savannah from a presiding elder who he said was the biggest black person he knew. He was an AME. And he said the biggest black person he knew was a presiding elder. He never knew anybody who was big. And I said, well, that was pretty big, Daddy. But this presiding elder had told him about a school for black kids in Savannah. And so that's what my dad did. He took his $25 at age 21 and went to Savannah and enrolled and asked for the 6th grade, the 7th grade, because he had just finished the 6th. And they told him that he couldn't go, they didn't have a 7th grade, that they started at 8th grade. And if they started at 8th grade, he would have, if he passed this test, he could go into 8th grade. And so at age 21, my dad went into 8th grade at Savannah State, what was then Georgia State Industrial College, and he stayed there until he got his degree in 1933. He passed the test, and that became our benchmark for education. If my dad could do it at 21, then we could certainly do it with all the privileges we have. He got a Bachelor of Science. He used to brag about the fact he got both a Bachelor of Science and a Bachelor of Arts in agricultural science. And that's why he became an agricultural specialist. And so I told Pat we would share it because Pat's mother and my mother were high school students at Georgia State Industrial College, and that's where our parents met. Her mother was, she has a picture of her mother who was queen. 1929, she was Miss
Georgia State.
Miss Georgia State. And so that's a little known fact of our history, that the first Georgia State was a black college.
Wow.
And they took people in high school and took them on from high school to college.
Wow.
And so I was telling them that the Smithsonian is looking for artifacts, and I'm going to give them this one.
Wow.
Are you really?
Yes.
Can you pass it?
If you want, don't pass it around. Okay, so that's it.